My weather app didn't say it was going to start till later, so fun times. Okay. At least we'll all get some shoveling exercise later. Good for the arms and the core. We're going to start in a seated position this morning. Cup of coffee by your side. All right, looks like everybody who's signed up is on. Just start to bring the awareness to any sounds you hear in your space, including me. And just notice where in the body your breath goes naturally this morning. So some of us might feel it in the chest, maybe up in the shoulders, maybe stomach, maybe somewhere in the back. Could be as low as the bowl of the pelvis. And we'll invite a 3-part breath this morning. So think about the torso, the core, in 3 sections. So we have kind of pelvis to navel, navel to sternum, and then the base of the sternum up to the top of the collarbones. So if you want, you can kind of place the hands on the navel and the chest, upper chest if you're well endowed. And take a deep breath in, filling up just the low hand. So think about sending the breath towards the navel and then release it from there. So you should feel kind of mid-belly a little bit with your thumb and pinky low belly, so that you can send the breath in both those compartments. And try not to be shy to really expand into the hand. So inviting a large belly as you breathe in. And then softening it as you breathe out. You can do this lying down if you're having any kind of upper back or low back issues. Just make sure you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you'll fidget and probably not pay attention. So the pain will override the connection breathing. So a couple more breaths here just into that low hand. And then instead of breathing 100% into the low hand, let's chop it up into 2. So breathing into low hand and then the chest. And then exhale from the low hand, then the upper hand. Breathe in low hand, upper hand, low hand exhale, then the upper hand exhale. And a couple more. Breathe in low belly, exhale higher. Oops, I messed that up. Good. And then hands to your knees. Take a nice long breath, full system. And fully exhale with a slouch. So breathe in, pull back on the knees, lift the chest. And then roll back a little bit, exhale with a sigh. 2 more like that. Breathe in. Exhale with a sigh. And 1 more for fun. Breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. From the slouch, let's rock to the right and then forward across the shins. and then around. Good. If you're laying on your back though, you can hug your knees in and just circle the legs. So we'll kind of move through the pelvis in a supine position instead. So option on the floor like me right now, or you can do the seated version, circling the chest around your pelvis. It's kind of the opposite. In the seated version, we move the torso. In the supine version, you're moving the legs to move the pelvis. Okay. And then we'll sit up, we'll all lie down onto the back. So meaning our friends lying down. Good. And bring your hands to your hip bones. Bring your shoulders away from the ears and arch the low back slightly off the floor. There's a little space for your hand to slide. And then on the exhale, press down. Try not to lift your bum. Arch away, inhaling. Chin could tuck to chest. Exhale, press your low back into the floor. And a couple more. Breathe in, arch away. Exhale, low back presses down, chin lifts. And a couple more. Arch away, chin tucks. Press the low back down, chin lifts up. And last one. Arch away, chin tucks. And then exhale, find neutral. So try not to actively press your low back into the floor and finding the back of the hips feel kind of flat on the mat. Good. And then hands press into the floor. You can grip the long edges and press your shoulders down. Kind of connect through the abdomen so it feels strong, and lift your right leg to a tabletop. Then lower it. Then lift your left leg and lower. Let's alternate here. Keeping this core active in the small space in the low back. You might keep a hand on the belly just to make sure it's on line. So if this is quite doable for you and you're not, it's effort, but it's like, I could add a load. You might lift one leg, then the other, and instead tap your heels to the floor. So try not to change the position of your low back and keep the core active. The breath is continuous. The exhales could bring the leg up. A little extra connection to core. Good, and we'll do 2 more wherever you're at. And then bring both feet down to the floor. Hands down. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, press into your feet and lift your bum up. Inhale, arms return by your sides. Exhale, lower your seat. Inhale, flip the arms back overhead. Exhale, lift the bum. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, hips down. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, hips lift. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, hips down. One more like that. Inhale, back. Exhale, up. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, hips down. And bring the knees in towards your armpits. You can keep the shins or calves close to the hamstrings, or lift the feet up for happy baby. Just try to gently lift the bum up off the floor. Try to keep your shoulders heavy, head heavy. Feet down, palms down, knees to the right, look to the left. Exhale, center. Knees, look to the other side. And we'll continue this a few times. moving on the breath. And then knees to the right, stack the body, stack the palms, rest the head, and inhale to reach the top arm up and around the head, back behind you like a cactus branch, and then circle it forward. So we're adding a circle of the arm to the rolling back movement. We'll repeat this 5 times with your breath. Take a breathing in for half the circle and exhale to complete it. And then hands touch and we'll roll to the other side. Now you can just roll on your back. I'm going to turn just so that my voice carries well. Repeat the same thing. So circle top arm, bend the elbow behind you, and bring it forward. Few more like that for 5. And top hand rests, press onto both hands for a moment. Tuck the toes. Okay, so we're gonna just do a little kind of different variation of cat-cow. So on your exhale, round your back, tuck your toes and lift your hips. And then inhale to come forward, look forward. Exhale, round the back, tuck toes, lift your hips high, even straighten. And then bend the knees, lower, chest comes forward. Round the back, tuck the toes, press back. Bringing the knees forward, inhale. Good. And then one more, exhale, round the back, tuck the toes, lift the hips. And then nice and slow, this time keep the knees lifted. Bring yourself forward to a high plank. And then lower your knees and chest to the floor. Good. Hands are about under the shoulders. Draw the shoulders back, lift the head to a hover. And then lower down. Push into the hands, draw the arm bones back. Inhale, lift up. And lower. Pubic bone pressing down, navel lifting. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale, come down. Your lifts could be low or high, whatever feels good. Last 2. Inhale to come up. Come up higher, make sure you're lifting your belly as well. Good, and then we'll stay in the low version. Reach back through the toes and lift the hands, lift the elbows, and turn the thumbs up to the sky. Take 5 deep breaths. Think about pulling the arm bones back for 1, elbows close to the body. 2, 3, 4, hands down, push up and back to child's pose. So if your wrists are tender today, just slide one hand underneath your chest in the child's pose, palm faces up. And breathe into the space between your shoulder blade and your spine. If you're wanting to kind of change it up a little bit more than that, we'll come up onto your hands and knees, feet together, knees wide, and lift one arm. And we'll thread the needle through that way. This is just a little, the other version's just easier on the wrist joint, but do what feels good for you. Take 5 deep breaths. Breathe into the side waist and the bottom shoulder. Think about pressing the back of the hand into the floor. And then open up, inhale. Switch your hands. If you're in child's pose, again, you're back and low and sliding the arm across, turning your head to that side, or reversing the thread. And then pressing up onto both hands, tuck the toes, lift knees and hips. Take a deep breath in and walk your hands and feet together. You can bend the knees a little bit, feet nice and wide, and hold the elbows. Release the head, neck, the shoulders. Wiggle, move in any way that feels good. Maybe sway side to side. With bent knees and a round back, lift the belly and curl up nice and slow. Reach the arms up over the head. Interlace the fingers and flip the palms. And exhale, hips to one side, upper body to the other. Inhale through center. Over to the other side. And back to center. Switching sides 2 more times each side, so 4 in total. Really getting into the sideways. Good, and then reach the arms up, stand tall, back and down behind you. Good, walk your feet about 3 or 4 feet apart. Turn your right foot out and bend the knee for a lunging warrior 2. Get nice and low in the hips, chest still open to the side. Good, and take your front forearm to your thigh. Lift your heart up and we'll bring the back hand behind the back. See if you can hook it near the front hip crease. Draw the arm bone back and then lift the chin way up. You can also look down towards the floor for a different stretch in the neck. And think about ripping the mat apart as you lunge into the leg. Even weight in the feet. Inhale to lift the heart. Interlace the fingers behind the back if you can, or hold the elbows. pull through the arms, lift the chest up. You might stay here, or rotate the ribs towards your front knee and bow as far as you can towards your front heel. Maybe the arms come off the back. Squeeze the blades. Head can release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heavy back heel, 5. Inhale, come up. Release, warrior 2, full pose. Arms long, shoulders down. Heart lifted. Straighten your front leg and pivot the feet opposite direction. Bend the other leg. Sink low into the waist. Front forearm to your thigh. Try to keep space between ear and shoulder so they're engaged through the side body. And then the top arm circles back and reaches for that front hip. And you can also just hold your clothing nearby. Chest stays lifted, and then lift the chin first, and then drop the ear towards the bottom shoulder. Few deep breaths. Maybe try looking down to your front big toe. And inhaling, come up to warrior 2. Good. Interlace the fingers behind the back, or hold the elbows. Lift and open the chest, squeeze the blades, and then bow the chin in towards the front shin. Sorry, there should have been a bit of rotation, so let's come back up. So rotate first, ribs towards the front thigh, and then bow as much as you're comfortable with. Chin towards the ankle. The hands are interlaced. Lift the hands up off the back. Pull through the back heel. And then inhale to come up. Warrior 2. Find the lunge and hold the pose. Soft shoulders, lift the chest. Light fingers. 1. Even pull through the feet. 2. Strong legs. Lift the guts without hiking the shoulders. And then turning the feet to the side of the mat, hold the hips, walk the feet in a little bit, and then bend the knees. If the ankles and knees feel comfortable today, I want you to practice little hops. So open the feet out to the side, and then see if you can hop the feet together. Land lightly, and then hop open again. Try to make minimal sound. 2 more. This is too much, don't do it. Pretty simple. Good. And then we'll hop the feet together, hold the pose, reach the arms forward. Chair squat. 1. So just kind of keep the shoulders soft, but the palms open. 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you can stay, or try lifting your heels. Sink the bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Half lift again. Inhale, and step your right toes back. Bring the knee down. Hands to the inside of the front foot. Just kind of turn a bit. So we'll hang out here in this lunge. You might tuck your back toe and keep the leg lifted. Or you might try bringing one or both elbows towards the floor. But if that's not happening, don't stress. Breathe into the hips. Strong through the back buttocks. And then from wherever you are, the same hand as your front leg will open the chest up towards that knee. And in that position, try opening your hip to the side, lifting the big toenail. Nice. And then plant the hands, tuck the back toe under, and step back to a dog pose. And we'll bring the other foot forward to lunge. Knee comes down. Start by sinking low, breathing into it. And then open up towards the bent knee. Drawing shoulders back, chest lifted, lifts. Then we'll do a little weird spin move. So press up onto both hands, lift your back heel, and you're gonna sit down onto the bum. Let me show you again. So back heel lifts, and then you sit down onto the back butt cheek. If that didn't go well, don't stress. Or if you got stuck, it's also okay. I'll call for backup. So we're kind of landing with the one knee in front or on top. If the bottom leg needs to straighten, all good. Don't stress about it. And we'll just twist towards the bent knee. Lift the heart up and breathe. Soft shoulders. I think twist the other way, dude. Yeah, you got it. And then hands-free addition, switch your legs. Crossing the foot over the thigh if you can. And then straighten legs. Walk the hands back about 8 inches. You can also tent the fingers for this. Bend the elbows. Squeeze the blades and lift the chest, hug the inner thighs. Try pointing the feet and squeezing the bum. If you can, look up and back. Tuck the chin first, bend the knees in and open the knees out wide for Baddha Konasana fold. So you might stay tall, soles of feet touching, or bend the elbows and lean as far forward as you can. You could also walk the hands forward here, if that feels better. And if this just sucks, enjoy. Another alternative, if you do have like a piece of furniture nearby, like the base of a chair, you put your hands on it and bow that way. And that might give you a little bit more room for the pelvis to move. So don't be shy to explore using props. This is an imaginary chair I'm using. And then we'll come up to a seated posture and lie down onto your back. Take any extra movements your body may be asking for. Maybe some windshield wipers. Maybe just a gentle twist with one leg. Sometimes the subtle change of palm up or palm down can feel really nice on the shoulder or neck. So maybe explore that a little bit. Switch sides if you're kind of hanging out on one side. And then bring everything back to center and stretch out nice and long. Exhale, sigh to release. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Feel free to take some extra time relaxing or hanging out. Or continue to move around and breathe. We'll take a mindful deep breath wherever you are. Completely empty on your exhale. And smile into your brain. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna load this class up onto the YouTube, so you'll be able to practice anytime. Thank you.